She actually believes that failure is actually an important part of how we grow and it's not a stop sign. I loved that.
Mm-hmm.
Failure is actually not a stop sign. Some people will have an obstacle and they'll go, oh, this is a sign that I'm not supposed to be doing the thing. No, it's actually the thing you have to learn how to overcome so you get to the next fucking level sometime. Welcome to the Be It Till You See It podcast, where we talk about taking messy action, knowing that perfect is boring. I'm Lesley Logan, Pilates instructor and fitness business coach. I've trained thousands of people around the world, and the number one thing I see stopping people from achieving anything is self-doubt. My friends, action brings clarity, and it's the antidote to fear. Each week, my guests will bring bold, executable, intrinsic, and targeted steps that you can use to put yourself first and be it till you see it. It's a practice, not a perfect. Let's get started. Welcome back to the Be It Till You See It interview recap, where my co-host in life, Brad, and I are going to dig into the positively confident convo I had with Simone Knego in our last episode. If you haven't yet listened to that one, you should listen to it now. I'm going to say positively confident convo I had with Simone Knego.
You did good on that. You didn't trip that up.
Can we just say that those words together, positively confident convo with Simone Knego? Like it's like one of those like, she sells seashells down by the seashore.
That was impressive.
I know. You should have heard me yesterday when I was filming tutorials for the barrel stack.
Okay.
I had to keep saying sea shaper.
Sea shaper.
Sea shaper. And it was really hard not to say she shaper. Because like you have to say, like you say it like, I'm Lesley Logan here to talk about crisscross on the sea shaper, and then it's like the sea shaper, you just keep saying it and it starts to blend into new words. Hi guys. Anyways, today is...
That was a third take through that intro, by the way.
I was reading the wrong one.
Slang.
It's okay. Listen to the outtakes at the end. You'll hear it. You'll hear it. So today is May 9th and it's Lost Sock Memorial Day. This is when you go, do, do, do. Or what's a memorial song?
I have no idea what a memorial.
Okay, so the origin of Lost Sock Memorial Day is as big a mystery as the whereabouts of the socks the day is meant to memorialize. But socks have been around for centuries, and it's clear Americans love their socks. In 2018, in the US alone, we purchased over $11 billion in socks. Most men wear socks every day, including those particularly fashionable guys who wear socks with sandals. Brad.
What? Hardly.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
Hardly wear socks.
He wears socks with his sandals all the time. His socks and stocks all the time. So the sock industry continues to grow in sales and expand in variety. Gone are the days of the one color, one style sock.
Yeah, hello. Who does that? Boring.
I know. I'm back to crew socks and I love it. Today, socks serve multiple purposes and are manufactured to perform based on need. Of course, the dressy trouser sock is neutral colors exist for professionals, or fancy occasions for the markets for fun, and functional socks are making a name for themselves. There are themed graphics. It keeps going, guys.
I have Star Wars socks.
I'm going to just skip to the end. So apparently they did a survey and it said that the average person loses 1.3 socks per month.
What?
That is
really?
Over 15 socks per person per year. So you can see that this is universally hits home and it causes us all distress when a sock goes missing.
Major distress. In fact,
today we stand together to pay tribute to our deeply departed socks. And this is where the in memoriam song would come on.
And it would be amazing because it causes so much stress that I decided, with the help of my favorite chatbot, to write an ode to my lost sock.
Okay.
So here we go.
Jeffro should be singing this.
Oh, noble sock, vanishing into the abyss of the laundry's dark realm. Once snugly paired, now solitary, you wander alone, a solitary helm. In the labyrinth of mismatched pairs, your absence leaves a longing overwhelm.
Longing overwhelm? That's how it finished?
That's how it finished.
Come on, ChatGPT.
Hey, who said that?
I don't know who your favorite is. That's the one I know.
That's the one I use.
Guys, I don't even use a chatbot. I don't use any AI. That's what my team is for. Okay, back to the regular scheduled program. Upcoming events and travel. Get ready. Get your pad and paper out.
Get your pad and paper out.
OPC summer camp is less than a month away.
June 1 and 2.
We are hoping for the biggest summer camp ever. You don't have to attend live. You can watch the replay.
Yeah.
So what you can do to go to opc.me/events, opc.me/events, plural. And you'll see we have 14 events and you can buy them a la carte, or you can buy a day pass. You can buy both day passes. The savings is on the day pass. I will tell you that. At any rate, I'm teaching one event and we have 13 other teachers from around the world. I'm so excited. We have a variety of classes and workshops on all different pieces of equipment spanning different topics. We've got like Heather Ingram is doing Empower Mat. It's a resiliency mat class for those who had breast cancer or are going through it. I'm super excited about that. We have Erin Donahue doing a pelvic floor mat class. Super stoked about that. We also have workshops on knee pain. We have one chair class, a couple reformer classes, a Tower of Power with the Tower of Power happy hour with Lisa. I can keep going.
It's going to be great. We have 14.
So 7 classes, 7 workshops over 2 days. Come live for the party. Watch the replays whenever you want, but you got to buy them before they go on a full price. I'm just saying. So opc.me/events, June 1st and 2nd, it's going to be when we go live.
Yeah. And if you sign up for any of them, whether you pick a la carte or you buy the full day pass, you will actually have access to the replay indefinitely.
Yeah. In perpetuity.
Forever.
Forever.
Infinity.
Cambodia early bird is happening as this is happening.
Yeah.
So if you are on the wait list, you've got the email. And if you aren't on the wait list, you don't get it. So you have to wait.
Well, if you want to get on the wait list right now, go to leslielogan.co/retreats with plural. That's plural.
So that's going to be our February event because October is very sold out. Super sold out.
October is super
not
sold
an
out.
option. So February.
February, we're going to go the 25th, I think, for 23rd to 28th, something like that. It's the end of Feb.
It's after the Lunar New Year. So, we'll be past the high season of travel and
it's going to be great. Yeah. I'm really, really fired up, and we're going to have an amazing group at that point of the year as well. Next up, we got Summer Tour. Just around the corner.
We are doing a summer tour. We're not doing the West Coast tour this time. We're doing the summer. We're doing, I don't know
Midwest.
what you call it, the Midwest.
Yeah.
And I'm super excited because I haven't been back to Milwaukee since 2018, I think.
I know, it's been a minute. In fact, you've never done Minnesota, and we're looking at...
I've never been to Minnesota.
Yeah,
It's
not locked in. It's not confirmed yet, but we're working on it literally right now.
We're going to get back to Chicago for the first time since 2018.
Yeah, this time we're going to hit Cleveland, but on the summer tour. And then we're going to go south back through the Midwest. So we're looking at like Cincinnati, Indianapolis, St. Louis, Kansas City.
Yeah.
We're even looking at Colorado Springs, y'all.
Yeah. So at any rate, you want to go to opc.me/tour.
Yeah, get yourself on the wait list for the tour. We're going to start talking about it and opening up the doors for that in earnest after summer camp. So first is summer camp. After that, we'll do the summer tour.
Yeah. Barrels flashcards.
Oh, my goodness.
So actually,
lots of progress on our end, y'all.
Here's the thing. This might be the last chance to get on the wait list because based on when this is coming out and our pre-sale, it is very, very, very certain it could be happening as we speak. I'm not really certain on that. So here's the deal. You want to go to opc.me/flashcard waitlist. It's a lot. It's a mouthful. Ready? opc.me/flashcard waitlist, all in a word. So only people on the wait list will get the pre-sale price. The pre-sale price is the best price. You don't want to miss out on that.
Oh, this is a new exciting news that Leslie's looking at me like, do we want to talk about this? Maybe, maybe not.
No, we're skipping it, Brad.
All right.
We're skipping it. There's other people who have to hear about that first.
Okay. All right. Well, we have something very exciting and secret that we will share later.
Yeah, just come back maybe next week, but not this week. Okay.
Dangling that. All right. So
lastly, but not leastly, is the Elevate, my mentorship program for amazing teachers.
I thought you were going to say lastly, but not Leslie.
Oh. So if you look at the OPC summer camp, all the teachers have been through my mentorship program. So I was able to see how they teach and like their personalities and their styles. And I couldn't pick every grad. So for the grads listening, it's not like I skipped you. I only do so many, but I was able to see the teaching and I was able to, that's how I picked them. I'm not saying that that's why you should elevate. You should do elevate because it makes you fucking badass. Yep. And I actually just got a message from one of our grads who was kind of treated like a little bit like crap at work. And she actually took a moment and asked for a meeting. And then she asked what she wanted in that meeting. She got what she wanted in that meeting. And she was able to remember like a year before being so scared to have a meeting. And now she's like comparing herself to herself. And she's like, I know I'm good. And so if you are wanting confidence in your teaching and your power and your awesomeness, and you are already a comprehensively trained teacher, go to leslielogan.co/EW. leslielogan.co/EW. That's going to get you on the wait list. The people on the wait list are the ones who are going to be invited to apply.
Yeah.
And we're not probably doing applications until after summer camp. To be completely honest, I'm 100% positive about that. But we have to fill 2025 early so you guys can plan your life around this amazing experience.
Yeah.
And it's virtual. My mentorship is virtual. You can come in person. Round 4 is like all up.
Oh, yeah.
This
We
house.
got a whole bunch of people coming each weekend.
They're
It's
all,
fun.
all the time. I love it so much. So anyways,
But we also have people who are all over the world, and it's literally not an option to come in person.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was designed to be virtual. Just we got a couple people who were like, "Can I drop in?" We're like,
and then
sure.
we're like, sure. And then people just keep coming. And now it's like, it's amazing. We know a guy named Kevin around the corner who Airbnbs his place. So
we met Kevin.
We actually have never met Kevin, but okay. So before we got to get into Simone, but before we do that, do we have an audience question?
We sure do. This is from Daniela on Instagram on the IG. Is there a cheap reformer that you can recommend, dear Lesley?
No, there isn't. There's not.
There is not.
There isn't. Here's the deal. If you are looking for applies equipment you can afford, check out a window chair. Check out a spine corrector. Check out the Contrology line. The spine corrector is about $700. A window chair, I want to say, is like $1,200. It might be a little bit. Look, I don't know what the prices are in this exact moment, but yes, that's still expensive. But it is a piece of equipment that doesn't take up a lot of space. You can have an amazing workout on it. It will support your mat practice, and it's not $400.
Unless you're throwing it around, it doesn't break either.
Yeah, and so the best reformer is a Contrology reformer. And then there's other reformers that are also amazing. But any reformer that's really going to get you the results you want is going to be over $3,000. I'm sorry. I hate to break it to you. That's just how it goes. They're hard to make. They have hundreds of parts. Like, it's just complicated. And when there is a cheap reformer out there that you're seeing, like at Costco or something like that, it probably doesn't have springs. It probably doesn't have the weight limit that's going to be accessible for most people.
Of springs, right?
It's not going to have the foot bar that moves around. So check out my video on YouTube about choosing a home reformer, and you will hear why. I cannot tell you about a cheap reformer that I would ever recommend.
Yeah, so just go to YouTube and search Lesley Logan home reformer, or we'll put it in the show notes.
We'll put it in the show notes. Yeah, it's a YouTube video. So thank you for your question, Daniela. I'm so sorry. I'm the bearer of bad news, but also, you know what? One of my clients, she has a tower and a window chair in her entryway of her townhouse, and she's adding a spine corrector now. She misses a reformer, absolutely. She actually doesn't have the space for it. So this is what we're doing. And it's really quite exciting. You'd be surprised what you can get out of having a spine corrector. I have another client that I teach online who only has a mat and a window chair. And, like, it's great. It's amazing. We work out every week together. So anyway,
thanks for asking. Good question.
Send your questions in to the Beit Pod. We will answer them here. And that's that.
You heard it here first, peeps. Okay, now let's talk about Simone Knego. Simone, a keynote speaker and author of The Extraordinary Unordinary You, is renowned for her journey from CPA to a dedicated advocate for women. With experiences in teaching, medical sales, and charitable works, she uses her diverse background to inspire and empower confidence in others. Simone is also the host of the Daughter Dearest podcast, furthering her impact on personal development. I just want to do a brag for Simone. She summited
Mount Kilimanjaro,
the big one.
Yes,
pretty cool.
It's really cool. Also, I was on the Daughter Dearest podcast.
Ooh, fun.
So I would go listen to my episode. It's a great way to break into the Daughter Dearest podcast. I got to talk to her daughter, Olivia, and also Simone, and they just asked really great questions, and we had a really great conversation. So highly recommend that you go listen to that episode. And then you can see if you really like it. I think her podcast is really great. I love this a mother-daughter podcast, and they talk about really amazing things. Simone is she's also just freaking cool, and she has the coolest tennis shoes.
Oh, it just came out.
Yeah, it just came out.
The episode. All right, I'm gonna put the link to that in the show notes.
While he's doing that, here's the deal. I loved that she is a very big believer that it's okay to change your mind. I think that's really something I for fucking sure have a really hard time doing this. Brad has been the reason why he taught me how to cancel plans. He's like, I said, but we told him we would do that. He's like, well, we changed our mind. We're not, or we aren't doing the thing that was over there, so we can't do the thing with them that's over there. So it's going to have to change. And I'm like, oh my God, are people get mad? So anyways, I just absolutely love that she said this. And I think it's a great point for all of us, be it, tell us, see it, people, to remember that it's okay to change your mind. And trying different things also means that she has to fail in some of it. And I think that that's also a really cool thing. You're going to fail forward, really, especially if you learn from it. She actually believes that failure is actually an important part of how we grow, and it's not a stop sign. I loved that. Failure is actually not a stop sign. Some people will have an obstacle and they'll go, oh, this is a sign that I'm not supposed to be doing the thing. No, it's actually the thing you have to learn how to overcome so you get to the next fucking level sometime. You know what I mean? People are like, oh, door closed. It's a sign I'm not supposed to go after that thing. You know what I mean? It's like, no one thinks about that with dating, by the way. No one goes, ugh, that date I'm just gonna be alone for, my date sucked. So that means I'm not meant to be with anybody. You know what I mean? But we think about that with anything that we want to do in our life. We're like, oh, no one responded to my post, so I'm not a good enough whatever. And it's like, what are you talking about? These are not stop signs. These are just feedback. And she also mentioned that we should embrace failure.
Yeah.
And to understand failures don't equal your worth. I love this because all the people that we admire who are amazing business people, whatever, they have all failed on a lot of things. One of our coaches literally coaches people on book titles and all these things. And he talks endlessly about how he titled one of his books terribly wrong.
And he argued for this title that he has now concluded later is terribly wrong.
It's terribly wrong.
He was convinced this is going to be the best, amazing title ever.
Yeah.
Wah, wah.
And so, but he has used it as a way to help others not have that same thing. So it's kind of, we should call them other things. There's just some words that need rebranding, and failure is one of them.
It's a sliding step.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not the marketing people here, but I'm just saying it needs a new thing.
Well,
failure needs a PR person. What did you love?
Up? We need a PR person for failure. All right. Here's what I really loved. She was talking about Kilimanjaro. Actually, really, really fascinating side note. She said that we apparently have roughly 6,000 thoughts a day, and 80% of them are negative. What the F?
I know. And also, most of them are repetitive. They're the same thoughts as the time before. I'm like, who's counting these thoughts?
Ding, ding.
And also, do you ever wonder, like, okay,
how do they conclude
as the overachiever in the room, the recovering one, I'm like, I bet you have more.
I bet you have more negative thoughts than you.
No, I'm not fighting for those, but
that's funny. She said when she was climbing Kilimanjaro, first off, it was like a process to even get there, and the mental battle to write off the people who were basically challenging her. Do you think you're actually gonna make it? Yeah, I fucking do. Why do you think I'm not just gonna do this so I can go to the base of it?
Everyone needs to be fucking trained on proper responses in life. Here's the thing. When someone gets married, you don't have to ask them if they're having a baby. When someone said they're going to climb a mountain, you don't have to ask them, do you think you're going to fucking finish it?
Yeah. What happens if you fall? When someone says, I'm going to open a Pilates studio, do your friends go, really? That's so risky. Are you going to do that?
Yeah.
If they say that, then you just walk the other way.
If that is you, if I just said a response that you think you've done, first of all, give yourself permission to never do it again. And also let it go. You did it and now you know better. But I get it. Like, I have a girlfriend who I just was having coffee with, and she has a 4-year-old. And there's a part of me that wants to know, does she want to have another? Guess what I didn't do? Ask. I kept it to my fucking self. If she wants to tell me if she's having another, she will tell me. It's not my business.
That's funny.
Anyways.
Well, so she was talking about while she was climbing Kilimanjaro, she was actually having this internal argument with herself. And she had to continue to encourage her own self and challenge herself while she was climbing the hill, y'all. And she said when she got back home, it was really exhilarating. It was quite a moment that she could be proud of. And she said the challenge of it was something that she isn't going to forget. She challenged us to find our own Kilimanjaro, and in a figurative sense, and not also, necessarily a literal sense. Although if any of you decide to go climb Kilimanjaro, tell us because we will cheer you along. That'll be amazing.
But also the other Kilimanjaro climber we've had, because now we've had 2, Jen.
Did she climb? Is Kilimanjaro the second highest summit?
It's a K2.
Oh, perfect. So we have had 2.
And remember, on her first attempt, 2 people died.
Yeah, so she turned around.
And then she did it again. She actually did it again. But guess what she's doing? She's creating a like retreat of some kind where you will climb with her.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, wow. And she's like, yeah, are you in? And I was like, probably not. Well, I'm so excited for you. And everyone is doing it with you because I'm going to go with Simone and find my own Kilimanjaro. I'm gonna find my own. I'm going to say owning the businesses that we have feels like fucking climbing a Kilimanjaro every day. So I'm good. Noted. I got it.
Well, she actually said it was not part of her bucket list. And she did it as part of a charity work to raise money for the Live Strong Foundation. And people asked her what it would feel like if she didn't reach the summit. And she said, honestly, it wasn't about reaching the summit for her. It was the mindset that got her there. Like I was saying, one step at a time, continuing to encourage herself. She had to talk herself up, not down, so many times during the climb due to self-doubt, right? And then having summited Kilimanjaro and surmounted her negative self-talk, that's why she's encouraging everyone to go find their own Kilimanjaro, because it was a challenge and it was probably quite scary. And what a conversation be having in your head if you actually do doubt yourself making it to the top. Well, I just think it's great though, because, and your Kilimanjaro doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be physical. It could be, Kilimanjaro could be being nice to that person who's consistently an asshole to you. It could be, right? Like,
I know.
Listen, I'm not a parent, so I don't have to go to like PTA meetings. I don't have to go to soccer games and stand on the sidelines. I don't have to deal with a bunch of other people.
We got a dick neighbor that we have to like.
We do.
Yeah, that's my Mount Kilimanjaro.
Yeah, I'm still working on that.
There's like, okay, you guys, when we walk past this one house, also past this one house is the view of a building that I shall remain nameless because I envision the name of this building burning off the building every single day. And so maybe my Mount Kilimanjaro is just not notice these 2 things that I have to walk past. That might be it. Or maybe it's just like not having negative thoughts while I do it. But at any rate, find your own. Ask us later if we found ours. That could be a question you ask us.
And like I said before, whether it's literal Kilimanjaro or figurative, if you've got something that you are going to tackle and you want us to cheer you on, tell us.
Yeah. Well, and also you can send us your wins when you do, because we put them in the FYFs. But I just want to reiterate, she was focusing on overcoming her negative thoughts to get her up there. She had to talk herself up, like you said. It's okay to talk yourself up.
Yeah.
I think it's really important. And also, like Brad said, we want to cheer you on. If you don't ask us to cheer you on, that's totally fine. I'm not offended. But tell people in your life, this is really important to me. And how you react to me doing this thing is also really important to me. Brene Brown is the person who taught me the people whose opinions of you matter, they should know that their opinions of you matter.
Yeah.
And so if you have someone in your life who you love, and whenever you tell them you're doing something that scares you, they kind of shit around it, then you need to have a talk with them that says, when I tell you something I'm excited about and you respond with doubt, it's really hard for me to stay excited. So I would really love it if when I say something that I'm excited about, that you just say, I'm excited for you. And then take your fears and talk to your other friend about it.
Or another time, not in the moment.
Yeah. Because, they think they're being curious, but their curiosity is actually negative. Jinx.
You owe me a Coke.
No.
Dr. Pepper.
No.
Sprite.
We don't do those things around here. Okay, let's go to those beit action
Mr.
items.
Pibb.
At least a Dr. Pepper is better, but still, I haven't had soda since I was 18 years old.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's impressive. I've definitely had soda since then.
I know it's terrible for you.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have it all the time.
It doesn't even matter. It's like it clears off battery acid from a car. You should not be drinking it.
This is true. It does that. All right, finally, let's talk about those beit action items. What bold, executable, intrinsic, or targeted action items can we take away from your convo with Simone Knego? She said that she uses affirmations on a daily basis. And then she told a really hilarious story about her daughter being like, I have nothing to be happy about today. And she was like, oh, yes, you do. Let me tell you how. And then her daughter was like, I'm never telling that to you again.
But you know what? Simone just was that, guys. That's the example of the response people in your life should be saying to you.
Yeah.
When you're like, oh, nobody likes me, you should have someone's like, nope, this person, this person, this person, this person, this person.
True. That's
should
a
not
story
have someone who goes,
yourself.
oh my God, it's so true. No one likes you.
Yeah, right. Oh, you're so right. Everyone hates you.
Yeah. You do also. Did you know that this person also hates you?
She said it's important that we constantly ask ourselves what we want, so that you can get what you need, right? Because I think, you know, the two of you were talking about effectively just doing life and being sucked into the whirlwind that I like to call the whirlwind. And there are times where we feel like we need to make a change to tackle something big, right? I've often, over the years, I've had moments in my life where I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to kick it into high gear, right? And that might be for the next 6 months or whatever it might be, right? And she said, we kind of forget to change it up. We just get stuck in this thing. So whether that is...
Oh, you mean you're like the truck that just gets, you press the accelerator and just floors it. And you forget that you
exactly
could
right.
lift up. What are those trucks called?
The Tesla truck.
They're called something else. They're called the... this just happened, guys. So obviously you're going to know when we did this, but
it's called the Cybertruck.
The Cybertruck.
So the Cybertruck has a flaw, and they just issued a recall.
Shocking.
Because the accelerator literally gets stuck to the floor, and then it's stuck in high.
But that is
accelerator.
But that's a lot of you. You guys get stuck. You go.
I mean, me too. I've done it too, right?
You do it all the time. Well, you're also an Enneagram 3, so that's true. But like, you forget that you also have another gear, which is called slow.
Well, it's not just that.
Route,
it's not just that. But when we kick into high gear, there's one consistent common factor that suffers, and that is yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're like, I don't need to deal with me right now. I need to focus on this thing. I need to focus on my family, my daughter, my partner is going through law school, whatever it is, right? And you're shifting everything around to support this cause. And, there comes a time where you're like, hey, wait a minute, what do I actually want? Because it might be that the two of you are on a team, or, there is this thing where you're consistently sacrificing, but you also need to make sure you're taking care of yourself. And if you don't ask yourself, what do I want? How are you going to know?
Yeah.
I thought about this when I was listening to the interview, and I love running our company and traveling and all the things. And I asked myself, what do I want? And I literally the answer was instantaneous: sleep. And so it's like, okay, maybe I need to be more intentional about sleep, and then that won't be my guttural response.
You can want something else.
Yeah. Maybe I can want something else.
Yeah.
So anyway, ask yourself, what do you want? Right. Yeah.
Well, I'll go.
Yeah, go.
So she said, respect your reflections. We need to learn to love the woman or the man or the person in the mirror.
Like the reflection on sleep?
No.
Is that what I need to reflect?
No.
Literal reflection.
Your literal reflection.
Okay, literal reflection.
So she wants us to be who we are, so that when we look in the mirror, the first thing we see is what we actually love. And that's us. That's ourselves. And the truth is that so many of us are comparing ourselves to others when we're actually looking in the mirror. We're comparing ourselves, to like something unattainable, and then we're nitpicking. And really, it's just like, gotta just focus, gotta love the person in the mirror always.
Love the one you're with.
Yeah.
Love the one you're with.
You said something earlier that was a better song.
Love the one you're looking at in the mirror.
Yeah. No, that was not the song either. There was another song earlier. I don't remember. It'll come back. Oh, you said we don't get always what we want. We get what we need. And I was like, we can't. I hate that song. You can't always get what you want. And he just keeps repeating that. But you try sometimes.
You just might find you get what you need. Whoa.
Like, oh my God, when was that music good? Anyway.
Baby boom boom.
Simone, you're fabulous. Thank you for teaching us all. Oh, I missed this part. This is important.
This is important, y'all.
She said that 20% of people are born with confidence. So 80% of us have to work with it. If you're listening to this and you're like, I'm struggling with confidence, it's because you're probably part of the 80%. And so we got to work on it. And Simone, with her Mount Kilimanjaro situation, that's how she was able to, she committed to something and she did the thing. And she
coaches women on confidence.
On confidence.
Yeah.
She literally said when we were with her last week, she said, women, instead of asking for a raise, will just look for another job. And really, confidence comes, like, ask for the raise, even if you don't get it. Like the girl I was talking about earlier about Elevate, she like went in there and she asked what she wanted. And what I saw, the one I saw in the video telling me about it, was she was so fucking confident because she did the thing, right? The things that scare us are the things that put us in the confident bucket. So just go do that. All right, I'm Lesley Logan.
And I'm Brad Crowell.
Thank you so much for listening or watching or reading this. I don't know how you're doing it. At any rate, we're so grateful for you. Did you hear? This is episode 365.
Holy cow.
Holy cow. We're here because of you. And if it's your first time, we're still here because of you. So thank you so much for being here. Make sure you share this podcast with a friend who needs to hear it. And until next time, be it till you see it.
Bye for now.
That's all I got for this episode of the Be It Till You See It podcast. One thing that would help both myself and future listeners is for you to rate the show and leave a review. And follow or subscribe for free wherever you listen to your podcast. Also, make sure to introduce yourself over at the Be It Pod on Instagram. I would love to know more about you. Share this episode with whoever you think needs to hear it. Help us and others be it till you see it. Have an awesome day. Be It Till You See It is a production of the Bloom Podcast Network. If you want to leave us a message or a question that we might read on another episode, you can text us at +1 310 905 5534 or send a DM on Instagram at BeItPod.
It's written, filmed, and recorded by your host, Lesley Logan, and me, Brad Crowell.
It is transcribed, produced, and edited by the Epic team at Diseño.co.
Our theme music is by Ali at Apex Production Music, and our branding by designer and artist Gianfranco Cioffi.
Special thanks to Melissa Solomon for creating our visuals.
Also to Angelina Herrico for adding all of our content to our website. And finally, to Meredith Root for keeping us all on point and on time.